The 2025 Cheltenham Festival is upon us, and as ever, everyone at Record Sport and everyone around the country is looking to try and find some winners and win some money. So, what we've done, we've enlisted one of the most well-known faces, the voice of Scottish racing, one of the most well-known faces in the UK, Gordon Brown. He usually holds the microphone and asks the questions, so this time we flipped it round to him, and he's going to give us his expert knowledge as we try and find the winners and the value for the festival. And the feature race of the day, Gordon, obviously the champion hurdle, and the champion hurdle that I think a lot of us really wanted, Constitution Hill and Brighter Days Ahead.
Yeah, Constitution Hill, of course, unbeaten. Will the record be extended at Cheltenham? He's short enough, and he has had issues along the way. I think Brighter Days Ahead, speaking to Gordon Elliott the other day, gets the mare's allowance. How impressive was she last time in Grade 1 company in Ireland? How many horses win Grade 1s by 30 lengths? Gordon, when I asked him how will she go in the champion hurdle, she'll win, he says. Now, I'm not saying Constitution Hill won't rock up and absolutely blitz home, but you know, he needs to be at the top of his game. That mare's allowance is crucial.
Yeah.
So I'm going for Brighter Days Ahead.
Obviously there's 3 more Grade 1s on the day. It's a fantastic opening day. Many say it's the day for the purist, and the day kicks off obviously with the Supreme Novices Hurdle. We're delighted, obviously it's not the circumstances we wanted, but the Michael O'Sullivan Supreme Novices is a great gesture, that by Sky Bet,
nice
to
touch.
rename the race. Colpick the board, Willie Mullins, he's often got a strong one in the Supreme to get it kicked off, and this one really caught the attention at the DRF.
He did, and he won by 13 lengths, and he set a few of my colleagues who do the times, he set their stopwatches into sort of meltdown. But sometimes horses don't produce and reproduce that sort of run. It was for me a below standard race that he did win impressively. Willie Mullins has won this race in the past, and he doesn't always win it with the first string, so remember that.
Yeah, Salvador on Monday, and I think he's got maybe possibly 4, 5, 6 others in the race, certainly 4 or 5.
So I'm going to go for Gordon Elliott's horse in this race, Romeo Coolio,
yep.
Who was himself in good form at Leopardstown. This was over Christmas, and he was second in the champion bumper last year.
Rock solid.
So I think a little bit of value in the opener. I think it could be a good starting day for Gordon Elliott.
Yeah, we could be talking maybe 9-2, 5-1, maybe even 11-2 on the day for Romeo Coolio. So certainly an interesting each way angle into that. Each way might be the angle into the Arkle as well for many punters. Gordon, obviously we got Madgeborough very short. We didn't get the clash with Sergino that we would have liked, obviously due to Sergino's illness, and all the best to him. Madgeborough's short. Is he just one to put in the accumulators? Does he win?
2 from 2 over fences, but obviously this is the novices champion chase. Not a lot of experience there. I'm actually going to go for a horse at a bigger price who's unbeaten in 4 races over fences. Won the Kingmaker at Warwick last time for Dan Skelton. I think Dan will have a really good Cheltenham.
Yeah.
We'll come to that in just a few moments. 4 from 4 over fences. Much as I respect the chances of Madgeborough, inexperience could be his undoing. I know Willie's won the race in the past. I know there's no Sir Junior in the race this year as well for Nicky Henderson. But Lodi Sud, I think I like to bet you there.
Yeah, and has Cheltenham form in the book from winning earlier in the season, so he'll be popular in the Skeltons. Obviously with 4 winners last year, they know what it takes to get it done. We've obviously got the Mayor's race, obviously been thrown into sort of disarray in the week leading up to it with the participation of Lossiemouth and non-participation of Lossiemouth. There's obviously other alternatives in there, but there's 3 shoulder races as well, Gordon.
Yep.
The Ultima, the Fred Winter and the National Hunt Chase. Is there anything that catches your eye in any of those handicaps?
Yeah, Lossiemouth, I'm thinking, forgetting Lossiemouth for the time being, but Whistle Stop Tour in the Ultima for the Russell camp.
Yep.
It's a race she knows well. She's won it in the past a couple of times with Corach Rambler. Yep. I get the impression this horse has been laid out for this particular contest, so there's one for the handicap. And is it Stenso in the Fred Winter?
Stenso in the Fred Winter for JP McManus here, who's got quite a strong hand in that. He's got a couple for Joseph O'Brien as well, I think.
Good form behind East India Dog, finishing second place.
Yeah.
A handicap for the 4-year-olds. And if I was going for another handicap, well, I mean, I know he's probably favourite, but at this point in time, about 5-1 favourite. So Stenso in the Fred Winter.
Brilliant, Gordon. So we might as well put you in the spot for day 1. What is an app for day 1?
I'm going to go in the champion hurdle for the aforementioned horse that we were talking about. Brighter Days Ahead for Gordon Elliott. And Jack Kennedy will be in a lot of Gordon's horses. And of course, he's just back from a broken leg. You can almost see the headlines.
Yes. It's Champion Chase Day, Gordon. That's one of the classic races of the season, 2 mile for the speedsters, and we have got a horse who is splitting a lot of opinion. He might be a shade of odds on, John Bond, but not everyone is convinced.
He hasn't got the credit he's deserved, this horse. I was checking through his record the other day. He doesn't get beat very often. He's 12 from 14 over fences. His luck at the Cheltenham Festival, he has been a little bit lucky. This is a race where we've had hot pots turned over before for one reason or another. I think he'll nearly win, to be honest. He holds an Ergamine in that form at Ascot last time. I think John Bond will win. It's not very original. I don't know if there'll be many runners in the race. So I don't even think there's an each way angle. So probably Ascot form to be replicated here with John Bond beating the Irish challenger in Ergamine.
And Nico de Boinville 7 from 7 on John Bond as well, which is a massive thing as well. So
not very original, but John Bond for the champion chase.
That could be one for the accumulators. And listen, you might get 45, 10, 11 on the day. 2 more grade 1s on the day. Gone. We start off with the Turners Novices Hurdle, and this is going to be a hot one. Final Demand obviously blew everyone away at the DRF. The new line was hugely impressive, or has been hugely impressive. Everybody keeps talking about the Challow form, but you know, the new line looked really, really good. The yellow clay might be there for Gordon Elliott. It's tight in the betting, but it is open. Yeah, it is open. I'm torn between the Final Demand and the horse you mentioned there as well, the New Line, who's changed hands since his last win. Unbeaten in bumper company, 3 from 3 over hurdles, has been purchased for a right few quid, I'm hearing. Probably we're talking, you know, that big figure that I can't mention. And JP McManus knows a horse.
Yeah, trip-wise, this was always the race I think he's going to go for. I spoke to Harry Skelton after he won the Challow. I know there's that stat about Challow winners not doing it at the Cheltenham Festival. I think there's about 1 has won, but all these wins have come at this trip, so this is for the race for him to go for. I think Final Demand is the main danger to the New Line, and he can maybe recoup a fair bit of that expensive purchase tag.
Should Willie Mullins not get the success in the first race and the New Line comes good, he immediately goes into the Brown Advisory with another strong hand. Ballyburn, winner at the meeting last year in the intermediate hurdle, he's back. 3 mile novice chaser, obviously didn't work out for him against Sergino and on the festive period, but he looks solid at the top of the market. Gone.
I haven't gone for a lot of shorties, as you'll probably notice, but I think he could be the one. Final Demand, Better Days Ahead is going to be the main danger, quite an obvious one. He's 2 from 3 over fences, but yeah, I'm probably going to go for the favourite in the Brown Advisory.
Yeah, Scottish owned as well, Ronnie Bartlett,
Ballyburn.
So that'll be a popular one for us up here.
More about Ronnie later, by the way.
And he looked so impressive last year, didn't he, Ballyburn? I mean, he was one of the naps in the meeting last season, so he's got the course form in the book.
He was one of the Irish bankers at the meeting. It's a case of how many they will achieve over the 4 days. I was doing a preview night the other night, and James Reevely was there from France, and he was saying, who do you think will have most winners apart from the Irish? And you know what he said? The Brits or the French?
Not narrowing it down much there, is he,
Might
James?
Not even be second.
Leaving his options open. Listen, Wednesday is such a wide and varied day. We've got the grade 1s, we've got the champion chase, you've got the cross country in there. Some people like it, some people don't like it. The bumper's always a furious betting event. Loads of shouts, loads of whispers through the course of the day, and we've also got 2 cracking handicaps, the Coral Cup and the Grand Annual. Is there anything in particular, Gordon, in these races that pop out for you?
Well, at this moment in time, as I say, doing some of these preview evenings with phone-ins from the likes of Gordon Elliott and Dara O'Keefe and guys like that, these yards are multiple entries at this stage. I think Gordon said he'd 10 in one of these handicaps, but he did mention Galvin in the cross-country chase, which of course we know is another Ronnie Bartlett owned horse. Got form round the cross-country fences. Gordon says he loves the place. He says it takes not every horse takes to the fences in the cross-country course, but Galvin's been there before, seen it and done it, and he still might be a bit of value there, 3rd or 4th favourite the last time I checked.
And the ground may be coming for him as well, Gordon, because obviously it's going to be dry. There's no way to water the cross-country course. That's something you've got to look out for. So while they can get the water on the normal track, that will not happen. So, and the quicker the ground, the better for Galvin, I would say. Yeah,
that's an important point to remember, that the taps have been turned on for the new and the old course, but the cross-country course in the centre of the track, no water on it, so it'll be the way that nature intended. So I would think it would be, dare I say it, the quicker side of good.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting horses in the bumper. Obviously, one that's, I think Michael O'Leary and the Ryanair team, they didn't, the Gigginstown team didn't tend to go for the bumper in the past, but I know Calypso Chance is one that they're very, very keen on.
And it's a race, I don't know how many runners he'll have in it, but Willie Mullins, he won it about every year for a wee while, didn't he?
And just be careful with that, because again, as Gordon has mentioned before, not always with the first string.
No.
I can remember some big price winners that were won from that.
Never be scared to back either a Gordon Elliott or a Willie Mullins second string horse, so jockey bookings aren't always the way forward there.
It sounded as though you were pretty keen on Ronnie Bartlett's in the Brown Advisory, Gordon, so if I was to ask you for a Wednesday nap, is that the right direction I'm going in?
I think so.
Yeah.
Ballyburn.
Ballyburn. Stayers Hurdle Day, Gordy. It's not for everyone, the Thursday, but there's some brilliant betting opportunities. And once again, the main championship race of the day, we've got a solid favourite. And again, he's split an opinion. Tihapu won this race well last year, but he was beaten in it the year before. And a lot of people are split on whether Gordon Elliott's Charles will get the job done again. What do you think? Is he solid at the top of the market or
He's
not?
solid, but he's very short. I mean, that is stating the obvious. And I mean, Gordon Elliott is talking up his chances as he would. I think a bit of value in this race. It's a race where we have had multiple winners down through the years, the likes of big bucks. Nicky Henderson was saying on the quiet, away from these Constitution Hills and horses like that, lucky place.
Yeah.
In this race. Each way, maybe a little bit of value there. Winner of his last couple of starts, unexposed at the trip of 3 miles.
And Nicky said that why not the best time to try it?
Yep.
Is on Stayers Hurdle Day.
Yep.
You know, so and they're pretty confident. Nico de Boinville's very confident that he's going to stay.
Well, and you know the ground will be, I think it'll be nice, good ground, maybe just on the soft side of good. We're on the new course, incidentally, on the third day. It's a little bit more taxing and stamina than the old course, but I think given the ground, I mean, they will go quicker, but I think if he was going to stay, he'll have his conditions. So lucky place maybe to shake up the favourite.
The other Grade 1 on the day is the Ryanair. It promises to be a fiendishly difficult race this year, Gordon. There's some really good, obviously with the situation with the Gold Cup, there's some horses dropping back. There's some horses who, you know, could have had other engagements, have decided to go here. Protectorat's back to defend his crown. The Skeltons love him. The Skeltons think that he can go in again, but there's dangers all over.
Oh, this is one of the races of the week for me. Speaking to James Reevely, I used to get on great with James when he's over in this country. Now, of course, multiple Grade 1 winning jockey in France. Multiple champion jockey in France as well. This is one of his rides of the week. He's got 3 or 4 nice rides, he was telling me, and one of them's in this race. And you know the horse I'm going to be talking about, Il Francais, went so close in the King George before being reeled in the closing stages. Before that, I think he was a quarter star winner at Kempton over 3 miles. The plan, if James had his way, he wanted to go, and he doesn't train the horse, he only rides it, he wanted to go for the champion chase. He says you've probably got one danger in the champion chase. As you said, Swanee, in this race the dangers are all around. But when you speak to James about Il Francais, he loves the horse. He says he's got speed, he's slick, he jumps. I said, well, back in trip after the King George, what if something went a bit quicker? Would you be happy to take a lead? He says whether it's 2 miles, 2.5 miles or 3 miles, nothing will be going quicker than my boy. So his enthusiasm and confidence was infectious about Il Francais winning the Ryanair, which is, as I say, a really good competitive race.
And interesting, Gordon, I know that it is mainly the old course where this stands up, but front runners in the chases at Cheltenham have in the past few years a terrific record. It's something that's really come to the fore recently, and if he gets into the type of rhythm that he did at Kempton, he's extremely dangerous. And
it was a great run in the King George. I mean, Banbridge came through and mugged him in the closing stages, and he in my opinion will go close in the Gold Cup. That form is rock solid, and once this horse is in his rhythm, this Il Francais, you know, he might take a bit of stopping, and the plan is, looking forward, obviously they're not going champion chase this year, and I don't think they'll go champion chase next year, but all being well, if he gets the job done in the Ryanair, they're talking of coming back for the Gold Cup in 12 months' time.
It's a good priced suggestion there from Gordon. There's going to be plenty of value all the way through the day. We kick off with the Mayor's Novice Hurdle, which is a fascinating event. Once again, there's a lot of good ones in it. I know you were speaking to Harry Cobden, Gordon, and there's maybe a couple of interest from the home team. The
2 Nichols horses, as we discussed just a few seconds ago,
Just a Rose and Jubilee Alpha.
And Just a Rose. At this moment in time, running plans have not been firmed up, but I mean, whatever one goes, Harry put this up as a sort of left-sided midfield tip, if you like. Whatever one that they declare for that opener, he'll be riding it, obviously. So I think whatever one runs will have a chance at a decent sort of price too.
The Pertemps final will be its usual minefield. The Plate, again, another race. The Kim Muir, there was a massive change in the betting in the week before Cheltenham, obviously, with Johnny Hu being put forward for this race. Derek O'Connor booked. We know what's happened in the past with with horses at Derek's Ridden in that race. They plunge in price and notoriously they get the job done. The Jack Richards Novice Chase is a fascinating new race. It was, of course, the Grade 1, which there was a lot of consternation about changing it back to a handicap, but you might have a value one for us in here.
I got one for you here. There's a slight caveat that the ground's maybe just against him a little bit, but he's trained in Ireland. He was 4th last year in, I think it was the Martin Pipe. Answer to Chaos is the horse. Very impressive last time at Naas, I think it was, in a graded race. I think he's only had the 3 runs over fences. Trained by Terence O'Brien, and will be ridden by a young claiming jockey conditional called John Shinnock. As I say, very impressive last time. The handicapper's taking his revenge a wee bit, but he jumps, he stays, and I think he's at a type of price where you could even, I'm not saying there's a tick in every box, but the price is factored in there. I think he'll run well. Answer to KF.
And form on the new course as well, which is vital from last year's Martin Pipe, so that's great.
Absolutely.
I have to pin you down to a nap for Thursday, Gordon. You've got some value in there. Where would you be pinning your colours for Thursday's nap?
Ile Francais, it's got to be to win the Ryanair. It is going to be one of the races of the meeting, providing everything gets round safe and sound, and they're all there jumping the last Protectorate you mentioned as well. Several will be coming at Ile Francais, but if you listen to the jockey, nothing will be jumping better, nothing will be travelling stronger, and nothing will be going up that hill quicker.
The Cheltenham Gold Cup and the possibility of Galopin Deschamps taking himself into folklore, 3-time winner joining the greats like Cottage Rake, Arkle, Best Mate. Gordon, he's very short in the betting. I think a lot of people would like to see him win for the purposes of being there and seeing a bit of history, but a lot of people are trying to get him beat and trying to get some money there. What do you think?
He comes to hand at this time of year. As we know, he's won the last 2 Gold Cups. All the marks he's set, he's so consistent, they're all within a pound or 2 of each other. He's going to take a huge amount of stopping. Paul Townend gets on so well with him. He will be short because he's done the business. He is the horse to beat. He'll never win as many Gold Cups as Golden Miller, by the way. Back in the 30s, 5 Gold Cups. Can you believe a horse winning 5 Cheltenham Gold Cups? Never mind Arkle or Best Mate. So if he wins 3, fair play to him. But my worry about the Gold Cup is that it might just cut up because your Royal Pagaille, Long Press, horses like that. Haydock specialist, deep ground. I mean, it's not going to be that.
And he's scared a few away, Gordon.
And
that
is the thing. He's scared a few away. We've got a supplemented horse as well. But I was thinking going back to the King George, Banbridge. His form could have received a boost on the day before should Ile Francais win that fiercely competitive Ryanair chase. Banbridge was given a great ride on that occasion and came through in the closing stages. And I know Ronnie Bartlett, his trainer, wants to roll the dice. Joseph O'Brien, of course, former top jockey. Small but selects
a brilliant target trainer.
A brilliant target trainer. So I would be Banbridge in the Gold Cup just for a tiny bit of value, but I wouldn't be having a lot of money on him, and there would be nobody cheering louder than me if Galopin Deschamps came up the hill in front to join those 3-time winners of our great race.
Friday is, as we say, is always a spectacular day's racing. The Triumph Hurdle, the JCB Triumph Hurdle kicks us off, full of all these talented young guns. And slightly unusually, I know Nicky Henderson's got a good record in the race, but 2 UK-based horses dominating at the top of the market, Lulamba and East India Dock for James Owen. Are you liking one of those two, Gordon?
Yeah, I mean, East India Dock was so impressive, wasn't he, on trials day at Cheltenham? He's a horse you've got to take your hat off to, because obviously a juvenile, a 4-year-old hurdler, but before Christmas he was only a 3-year-old, and he came off the back of a very busy season on the flat when trained by in Newmarket when he was trained by James Fanshawe. He ran 8 times in the flat last year. He must have some constitution. So he's going to take a fair bit of beating. But Lulamba, 2 from 2 over hurdles, one of the wins in France, one of the wins since coming to Nicky Henderson, who also has Palladium in the race, incidentally, as an intended runner, a German Derby winner. I thought he was a little bit, he wasn't impressive. Underwhelming, I think, would be his hurdles debut performance for me. Lulamba, I'm going to go for Lulamba. There's not much between him and East India Dock at the head of the market. They were nearly joint favourites for a wee while. I think East India Dock's just shading it, but Nicky Henderson, these 2-mile races, he's a brilliant trainer of fast jumpers. He's won this race loads in the past, and I think he'll win it again.
And there's a glint in the eye. Yeah. When you talk to
Yeah.
Nick Anderson about this horse, there's shades of Sergino about it, I think. So.
Yeah.
Lulamba for you, Gordon. The Albert Bartlett is the other Grade 1 on the card. We have had some well-priced winners in the Albert Bartlett in the past, and there is a lot of horses at big prices. I think Ballybow for Gordon Elliott would be interesting as an each-way bet. Is there anything that you like in the Albert Bartlett?
Well,
the Big Western obviously is going to lead the market, we think.
Probably going to lead the market, but you mentioned a bit of value at bigger prices. Lucinda Russell's won the race before with the ill-fated Brindisi Breeze, ridden by the much-missed jockey Campbell Gillis, and she's going to be running Derry Hassan Paddy, who scrambled home, it has to be said, under Craig Nicol at the Windsor Millions, but he is unbeaten. He's a winning pointer as well. I spoke to Craig, who won't be riding him incidentally because he's changed hands. Craig used to be the retained jockey for the old owner. Now he's got different owners, so Derek Fox will ride him. Craig says at Windsor, and this is not sour grapes because he's not on him at Cheltenham, he says he was just all over the place on the track. He's not sure if he'll handle it. He says the ground might just be in the quick side, but whatever he does at Cheltenham, Derry Hassan Paddy, future long-term staying chaser, remember, for the future, if not for Cheltenham on Friday.
Keep a note of the name. The Gold Cup, the Triumph and the Albert Bartlett obviously dominate the day, but there's 4 other fantastic races on the card. The Mayor's Chase, Dino Blue is obviously going to be tight for that for JP McManus. We've got the County Hurdle, we've got the Martin Pipe and the Hunter's Chase, which comes straight after the Gold Cup, and there is a big story here, Gordon. It's on the line.
Yeah.
Couple of crossbars. Surely third time lucky for Emmett Mullins.
Yeah, this is the race that we know fondly as the Gold Cup for amateurs, and yeah, it's on the line. He's knocked on the door.
Yeah.
It's never. I don't think it's never a competitive race as it looks on paper. They always got plenty of runners, but they're usually fairly well sort of strung out at the finish. We had a Northern winner last year, but yeah, I think as you say, well named winner, deserves to win it.
Yeah,
coming back for more.
Yeah, absolutely. If I had to pin you down to a Friday nap, Gordon, I think you were quite excited about Nicky Henderson's in the opener. Friday nap.
I was. Lulamba would probably be my nap on Friday in the Triumph Hurdle. Not as competitive a race as it used to be thanks to the introduction of the 4-year-old handicap hurdle, but going to be either favourite or second favourite, so there'll be a bit of value about for a trainer that knows how to win the race. And well, my next best would be Banbridge in the Gold Cup. I was nearly napping Banbridge, but I would love to see Caliban to Sean make history.